The 763rd Bitter Litany, Chapter the 4th, Meetings, continued. I would beg that as I pen the following phrase, the reader keeps in mind the stated opinions and positions of House Dunes and its members. Count Cecil Dunes is a man of the Empire. He is a creature which has been molded by its strictures and is precisely as adroit as he must be in order to maintain his station, lowly by comparison to many of our principal subjects, but even so of an unimaginable height by comparison to most imperial subjects. He is cutthroat and bloodthirsty in the most usual way, a zealous advocate for what he sees as to the benefit of the Empire. He is a man of the Empire, after all, and therefore what would benefit him must also benefit the Empire. If the Archduchess-in-Waiting Renatia Zanakostovich plays a game of politics on a board in her father's office, Cecil Dunes plays a sport of supremacy from the seat of his county and the decks of his ships. A violent roiling scrum to clamber to the top of the heap along with all the other men of the Empire, pulling each other down in the hopes that one might lift themselves up. It is this churning scramble that presses the Empire ever forward. As the meeting drew to a close, Count Cecil Dunes was offered two exceedingly rare hands by which he might pull himself further up the heap. The first was from Marquis Bahamut, who expressed clear interest in solidifying the claim of Dunes upon the mine in exchange for fostering of one Ellis Dunes, a youth whose father would see him gain experience and exposure among the Imperial cavalry should he be deemed suitable to ride by a drake. The other, an offer of collaboration with the Administratum facilitated by the Sangark and Essentia Anatel, though it came with a dire warning to ensure affairs in Primsol not fall out of hand, and we know fairly well Anatel's preference for being well in hand. Speaking of, in his laboratory on Kennebarrow, Dr. Gawain Kieranthal has been lately tinkering with a new creation, several dismembered facets of human bodies grafted onto a wall and made functional so they might form a small chamber orchestra. While their quality is at present only passably good, this latest anatomical invention ought to draw much investment from the gentry. Imagine, if you will, the pleasures of having music available on demand without having to deal with musicians. A bliss one might think fitting only to the Emperor himself. This dismembered and reconstituted ensemble was heard to be playing when Inquisitor Lorelei Aspetus was seen entering the lab, carrying a parcel of biological interest, and followed shortly thereafter by an excited urchin, often seen where he ought not be, and never within the grasp of the proper authorities. This urchin, known only as Riff, is a known associate of the Inquisitor, and one wonders if perhaps further clarity, or at least a more official obfuscation, might be given to the state of the household of Lord High Adjudicator Alistair, and at the expense of perhaps imagining a particular string of connections strung by a spider whose strings are many. Lorelei and Renatia are known to keep each other's company, and it was at the direction of Dr. Kieranthal that a group of Magmalo mercenaries recently suffered great losses at chimeric claws in the environment surrounding Primsol. Is House Zanakostovich attempting to exact revenge for the loss of their brazen? One could hardly say. The spider spins many strings, and perhaps Gawain Kieranthal may soon find himself entangled.
Renatia, Bahamut, and Gawain. Each of you have been invited to a very special occasion in the High House's main, I would say, like mustering grounds. This is a casual tournament / dick measuring contest between the houses, where each of them brings forth their finest warriors in an exhibition of skill to see which warrior the Emperor should endorse as the spearhead of their armies. Renatia, of course, you were invited as the owner of the Brazen. Gawain, you were compelled by the high courts of Kieranthal to bring a chimera or four to show at this event. And Bahamut, you are both emceeing and also the personal escort for Regis. Now, Regis is a Drake rider, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Representing the Drake cavalry of the High House.
Mhm.
And whomsoever should win will get funding, favor, all sorts of things. So it's kind of officially unofficial. It's very much a bragging contest. It is not for show, it is to death. And it is a bloody affair, a big raucous party, because we know our vampire courts love to party, an opportunity for politicking, an opportunity for bragging, and an opportunity to kill off and or weaken a rival or two now and again.
Well, that escalated things quickly.
Not really.
Well, there's a lot of violence going on and accidents happen.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act of, do you actually want to use one of your best warriors and risk losing them? Or do you want to hold back and risk losing?
Yeah.
Sure, Lorelai is watching in the distance, but she can't interfere, but she's just keeping an eye.
Honestly, in Lorelai and Anatel, this is a scene for the three of them, but anything that goes on, especially in public, like you would have reason to know what's going on, whether by being present or by just hearing about it.
Whichever chimera ends up going in the ring will have like a little like blessed tassel on.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's Jeremy.
Lorelai's just there to give information, because this is such a good place to just absorb information, see things,
Yeah.
learn things.
Oh, you know the gambling scene is huge around these.
Oh,
it's huge.
gnarly.
Mhm.
Where do you think I got half the favors that got me to the position that I am?
The thing that I want to seed each of you with before you go in, before we kind of go into this, we can play it before, during, and after, or just one of those points, whatever we think is the most fun. I don't want it to be like an hour and a half long scene, obviously. So we'll want to think about where we want our beats to be. But I want each of you to think about what sort of thing you would do to tip the scales in your favor one way or another. And when you think of that, you don't have to do it right away. Go ahead and drop it in a private message to me. Now, there are other contenders, of course, but you are the three. One of you is going to win.
My only little contribution to this, can I have something that Anatel would have had, not themselves, but like had people disseminate as like a little soundbite that is gone?
Why don't you go ahead and drop that in a private message to me as well? And Bree, if you've got a caltrop you want to throw in the arena, you're welcome to ping me. But I'll give y'all a few minutes to just sort of like mull it over. If you don't come up with something in a couple of minutes, but then you do come up with something like halfway through, that's fine. When you decide to like activate these little traps or moments or whatever, like in a Blades in the Dark style flashback, we will probably pick a move and then roll on to see if it goes the way you wanted it to.
When you say it's a tournament, is it a melee? Is it duels, jousting? What is the physical like confrontation? Is it like just arena combat?
It's duels in an arena style, so like a Drake rider will get their Drake. So like you will see a brazen spearman fighting a Drake on foot. And so often the odds are very uneven, but the justification is like this is supposed to be an approximation of battle. And, you know, that brazen is going to die. That chimera is going to die. Regis could potentially die or get severely wounded. This is dangerous stuff, but people want the blood. They want the spectacle. And also they want to be like, hey, if your brazen can't handle Drake riders, what if the enemy has cavalry? What are they going to do? Stand there and die? Like, that's sort of the thought.
Mm-hmm. You'd probably name Regis as Drake.
Yeah, probably.
What do you
Especially
mean
if
that's
it's
Drake?
gonna die, maybe.
That's Drake Johnson.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
It is the day of the games. There is going to be a lot of blood on the field, on the tournament ground. This is the mustering area. This is still, I need to be clear, this is still within the Citadel. The High House is so powerful that their wing of the Citadel has a full, like, barracks and mustering grounds, jousting field, archery range, the whole thing. They clear this entire thing out, set up risers, and turn it into essentially a coliseum every few years when they decide that they want to do this. There are hundreds of people here, all of them titled. This is probably, like, if you could possibly drop a nuke on this place, like, if you could bomb this one place, you would eliminate half of the Imperial leadership in one position. Renatia, Bahamut, and Gawain, you have been assigned to the same box right next to the announcer stadium. So there's a podium where Bahamut will get to do announcements in between the games, and then they may step into their box and join you all for company, drinks, servants, non-stop food, non-stop drink, whatever you could possibly ask for. The High House is all about this. In the box, exactly opposite yours, if you're sitting in the box, to your right is the podium, and then to the right of the podium, so on the other side of the podium, is Rex Imperialis himself, the Archduke.
What does he look like?
Rex Imperialis looks like a brutish anime vampire. So he's got like
A what?
anime. I'm gonna listen. I'm never gonna stop doing it now. I have been corrected, and I refuse.
It's
Leaning
become
all the
part
way
of
in.
your personality.
So he does not do the makeup or anything to make himself look more alive. He is pale, clean shaven, with what appear to be horn-like protrusions. Not fully horns, but you can see the dimpling of horns. He is powerful, a strong, extremely sharp jawline, extra high cheekbones, and a broad, powerful figure. This is a hulking monstrosity of an archduke. And yes, I know you're probably wondering, how big are his pauldrons? They are so big.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the finest robes, and he has a permanent murderous scowl on his face.
He looks like Fantasy Kingpin, like a fantasy version of the Across the Spider-Verse version of Kingpin, or Into the Spider-Verse version of
The
Kingpin.
impossibly wide
Oh,
shoulders.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he still narrows in at the waist. He's not a big block of a man. Like it still narrows in. He has that really
Dorito?
powerful, bulky triangle Dorito figure.
Yeah.
He is aggressively Dorito shaped.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the Emperor, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets. Oh, Mets.
He arranged these games, and he still looks like he's not happy to be here. But of course, Bahamut and Regis, you both know that that's just his face. Regis is seated in his box. So Regis gets seat of glory, and you get to be in the announcer's booth with the Archduke of Zenakostovich.
Mhm.
The other Archdukes have their own boxes. Titan, Oberon, like everyone else is here. They're just sort of scattered about and not necessarily part of this little microcosm of where you're at.
Yeah. So with Imperialis obviously has the announcer box, we've extended the courtesy to the Archduchess in waiting that she might sit in a place of such visual prominence as befits her station within the box of the High House Imperialis. You're welcome.
Gawain, you were not specifically invited to this box. You are using the invitation that was given to you by the head of your house
Mm-hmm.
and told not to take no for an answer.
You can just be the nerdy kid in the back of the box reading a book in the corner.
I definitely have arms mixing something while we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too flammable.
I don't remember.
I think Gawain's whole story is summarized by, I became important at work and it's ruining my life.
Yeah.
But it gives you the funding and resources to continue doing the work that you enjoy. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
After you are all introduced and seated, there is a brief moment before the first kind of announcement. How do the pleasantries go to start?
Duchess in waiting, Renatia. It is an absolute pleasure to be hosting you in the box of the High House Imperialis.
Please, with the pleasantries. It's really... The honor is mine, I suppose. I always look forward to a nice view, and you do seem to have those in mind.
House Imperialis creates only the best, obviously. The views from any of the boxes would be sufficient, but for one
in such a high station as yourself, only the box of the High House would do. And I see that you've brought a guest. Kieranthal, correct?
You presume correctly.
Yes, I think you've met Dr. Gwaine at a previous event, surely.
I do believe that we've had, I've made the good doctor's acquaintance once. Unfortunately, I don't believe we ever fully finished shaking hands.
I do not remember either of these people.
No, everyone's just a face to you. We have the benefit of only knowing one person with that many arms.
Uh-huh. All you two-arm havers look the same to me.
You will probably recognize her name if you hear it, because this is after we had our conversation.
Yeah, I'll recognize the name if someone says it, but I'm not going to be the one to ask.
How was it that you've made the acquaintance of the Archduchess-in-Waiting, Renati Anakostovich?
I look around, realizing you're talking about her, Renat. Like, I realize who you're referring to. I was introduced via my work.
And that is the cue. You can put in a different horn blast there if you want, Bree.
Or you could keep that entire bit, including the after.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave that in.
Bahamut, that is your cue to announce one of the main event contests. This one is going to be, since we queued it off of your two conversations, this is going to be Regis versus one of Gawaine's creations. And Gawaine, if you're planning on using the silent, that's fine. If you want to use this opportunity to introduce one of your other creatures.
I've named it in the chat. I'll get there. Well, the MC knows its name.
Great. Got it.
As the trumpets blare, Bahamut makes kind of a grand sweep of their cape as they turn. I think it gets very close, Renati, to touch you. It just barely misses you. This big cape sweep happens. It catches the light. People see it from all over as they step forward into this acoustically keyed little alcove in the front of the box that helps project their voice out into the rest of the stadium. And they say, "Our next combatants enter into the field of battle. Representing the High House Imperialis, Lance Constable Margrave, Regis Dragonsbane Imperialis, Duke of Knight's Attorney, Warden of the Nightwall, Count of the Three Brides, Earl of Embassy Square and Midas Court, and the Proxy Tercio of the Grand Duke Maximus Rex of the House Imperialis, who has graced us with his presence to oversee the proceedings today." Gestures up so that people can applaud the Grand Duke.
Regis atop his Drake raises his probably spears, right? You do spears when you're on Drake back.
I feel like he's got a spear.
Yeah, raises his spear to like adoring fans. His armor is polished. He is looking real good. What's his Drake's name?
His Drake's name is Impetus Imperialis.
Impetus Imperialis is wearing gilded barding, and this is a flex by the High House. Gilded barding is for ceremonial purposes. It is not to be worn into battle. And so basically the High House is saying this is neither going to take long nor deal any damage to our hero of the day. It's a bit of an insult, bit of a flex, but it looks so fucking good in the arena. That's the thing. Question for you, Bahamut. Was that your idea or was that Regis's idea?
To wear the gilded barding? Oh, that was me. When he showed up and I was having the servants put the gilded barding on, he looked at it and was like, "That is thinner than the Drake scales. That's not actually going to offer any protection to Impetus. We're doing." And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, buddy."
Oh, my sweet baby boy.
Yeah, just laughed at it.
And then next up is Gawaine's Chimera.
With a grand sweep. Well, it's a less grand sweep. The cloak does not move as much.
Good. If it comes close to me too much again, it might get a bit of a knife nick on the edge.
Here's the funny thing, is Bahamut moves their arm, and it doesn't sweep the cape, but it does kind of like whip the corner out, and it gets within about 6 inches of your boots. And the challenger to my brother the hero of the Battle of Denhaven, is this creature of House Kieranthal. Model number 01, Series 3, affectionately titled the Superiority.
What does it look like, Dwayne?
Yeah, Bahamut
wow.
stops and looks back at Gwaine and is like, that's the title's the Superior. Good.
I simply nod.
Renadia has a little smirk at that because most of the time it's just been polite golf claps and eye rolls behind nice, the classic little round sunglasses look.
Tell us about the superiority, Gawain.
Oh, it's a T-Rex wasp.
What the fuck?
Is it a wasp the size of a T-Rex or a T-Rex the size of a wasp?
Well, here's the thing. That depends. So its mass and size and aggressiveness correlates directly to how stressed out it's been lately. It converts stress into mass.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's called a superiority because if it thinks you're a threat, it gets bigger.
Hmm.
And how big is it now? Pray do tell.
Right now, I mean, it's been like probably locked up in a cage, so I think like a bear.
Maybe just a little bit bigger because the little seal, the little like religious blessing seal, had like a prick in it. So it's just been having like a little stab.
Do cages stress it out so it always just grows to be the size of whatever cage it's in?
Yeah, well, it's when anyone but me. It's real stressed out.
Goldfish.
It's constantly stressed out. It has severe anxiety.
Well, it won't for too much longer.
I haven't given it Xanax. It needs to eat a lot to get big all the time, because then you just create mass. It just, can convert it real quick.
I wonder what happens when it eats Regis.
It eats car, becomes car size.
I have a question to our two people who are not involved in the scene. I'm going to have you two decide, who do you think between these two combatants is favored to win? Anatel and Lorelei.
If you're asking Anatel, clearly it's House Kieranthal's most incredible specimen.
Right. What do you
Second
think,
most
though?
incredible. I mean, I feel like it's gotta be Regis, but I don't think he's gonna walk away looking pretty.
What do you think, Lorelei?
I think it's probably also going to be Regis, because I don't know if this creature has been displayed before. If anyone knows what the superiority is going to do. So, like, it's, especially at introduction, people are going to be pulling for Regis.
So when I say favored to win, I don't mean like what does the crowd think. I mean like who do you think is gonna win this?
Place your bets.
Not Lorelei, like you, Bree, based on you, Rob, based on the descriptions offered, who do you think would win this? I'm trying to figure out like who is sort of like the stronger contender, because that'll decide how the roll-off looks like.
I mean, the more it hits the superiority, the bigger it's gonna get. That's a little difficult to deal with, especially with the T-Rex wasp that's already the size of a bear, and if you don't know it's going to do that...
That's a good point. Regis does not know that this thing is going to get bigger if it starts losing.
The gasp from the crowd the first time he hits it, and it just gets bigger.
I mean, I will say, most of my things aren't secrets. So, like, I don't, like, actively try to hide that the thing exists.
But how many people are paying attention to what you...
Yeah,
create?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Rob, are you sticking with your answer? You think it's Regis?
Quick vibe on Regis. Zad. Is Regis... I was born really good at this, so I don't have to try. I'm just a war hero, or does he actually put work in to being really good at stuff?
Is Regis actually that guy?
He lives to be that guy. The fact that he has to be here at all is him humoring Bahamut in a lot of ways. The fact that he is required to deal with all of the pomp and ceremony as the only way that he gets to be that guy weighs on him. But the thing that he wants to be doing is be out there competing.
I think with that in mind, I think I'm gonna change my answer because it sounds like he does want to like compete and like not just like take it out. It sounds like he might try to stunt at least a little. Do you feel like that's accurate?
Yes, until it becomes clear that this is a real problem that he needs to lock in for. He's going to try and make it look impressive while also trying to do the job well.
I'll give the very slight edge to the superiority with the idea that like if Regis was the kind of person that just would like, I'm just gonna kill this as fast as possible, I think he like with a lance could potentially just like not maybe one shot it, but like mortally wound it with the first big hit. But I think if he does anything but just go directly for a kill on the first hit, it's not a good. It's a bad path.
I do think he'll survive. He's probably going to survive. It may not be pretty, but I don't think he knows enough about what he's going up against.
I mean, Regis is ultimately a vampire.
Yeah.
You can fuck him up good, but vampires are hard to kill.
Yeah, I mean, to the death only applies to the not undead creatures.
Right.
We're in for a show.
Gawain, rolling on behalf of the superiority, please roll fight for your life.
Yikers.
Bahamut, on behalf of Regis, the move will be brace for trouble.
Do we want to add like steel to that or iron, whatever that is?
Well, so brace for trouble doesn't add. I think it's a conversation.
Oh.
It's a conversation roll. Yep. You get to ask questions to avoid the trouble, but you pay costs.
Oh, there we go. Mm-hmm.
How did we do, Gawain? How's the superiority faring?
Am I adding anything to this?
You'll add whatever stat you believe from you contributes to the superiority's combat ability. So it's still your stat.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Because you made the thing.
Fair.
Honestly, many of these could work. Iron could work, salt could work, shadows could work.
Okay. Since you gave me shadows, I'll take shadows.
Okay. Yeah, shadows draws on the depths of your knowledge and what piece you have found. I mean, this thing, you have said it many times, you just want to work on your creatures. Here's one of your creatures.
Uh-huh. So if I'm using shadows, that's a 10.
That's a 10? Oh boy.
Ooh.
When you fight for your life, roll. On any hit, you leave them broken and bleeding, and the fight is over. Present 3 possible fates from below, and then they pick which one happens. So, like, what bad thing happens to Regis, and then we will use Brace for Trouble, Bahamut, to determine how Regis actually, like, survives this.
Gotcha.
The last part under the options, it also says, then they describe how they wound you in the struggle. So...
Right.
It's not without, like, obviously it's up to your interpretation, but
right.
A 10
There
plus.
is no mechanical since
Sure.
Gawain rolled a 10, there's no mechanical drawback, but the creature will be wounded from this. So, choose 3 from the list, Gawain. You leave them dead in the mud. You take their hands, you take their legs, you take their eyes, you take their wits. They will live with constant fear, they will live with constant pain. Pick 3 from that list, and then they decide which outcome actually happens.
I'm trying to remember if I give a shit about your house. Like, unironically, I don't remember right now.
Given how you've behaved, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I've had any dealings with your house in this game.
And Anatel doesn't like that house, so...
Anatel did just denounce them publicly. But privately, Anatel hasn't been like, oh, I hate these people.
Does Gawain know how Anatel ended up in this situation, though?
I think with Anatel, I take anything they say publicly with a grain of salt and wait to find out what they say in private. So if you have not privately told me, fuck up their shit, I think I don't care.
The denouncement was more for having it be said out loud.
Okay, so I guess the 3 options that I'm going to give you, they live with constant fear, they live with constant pain, and...
I have a suggestion. Take their legs, and we can say that Regis's Drake dies.
Metaphorically. Okay, cool. Yep, that's the one.
Ooh, fascinating.
Ooh.
Um,
If you like that one, you can offer it.
So, ultimately, final choices. They live with constant pain, or they live with constant fear, or I take your Drake.
Man, the Drake is a really interesting prospect.
Because also, we did specifically say that Drake doesn't have actual armor on. It's just decorative.
The guilt.
Oh, that is interesting.
From gilded to guilt.
Let's explore that, because I believe the brace for trouble is going to be mitigating in certain ways. Is that what your plan is, Ben?
It will kind of be mitigating. How does Regis survive this?
Gotcha. I don't know if I want to rack up an L that big, though. This is the problem.
Big swings.
Yep. We are going to go with it. It is going to be, you take their legs. Regis comes in, charges in, and it looks all very grand and everything. And then, I guess, like, Impetus just gets stung by this wasps. Ben, you want some narration on that?
The thing is fast, and it gets an early sting on the Drake. The Drake does not die right away. The Drake starts slowing down quickly as the poison begins to rapidly take effect. My question to you, Bahamut, how does Regis wound the superiority in return?
If I could grab just kind of a bit of narration, I think the sting was not necessarily something Regis was expecting. Impetus has been hit, but also, like, the lance came in and it delivered something of a glancing blow to the superiority. And I think as they clash, and as Impetus begins to slow, Regis casts his spear aside and pulls a saber out from a scabbard and bodily jumps and starts climbing the superiority like it is a Shadow of the Colossus boss. And gets a couple of good hits in. Gawain, I think something interesting that you notice is this should be very stressful. The superiority should be growing, right? It should be getting bigger because that's how you built it to respond to stress. It is not. Instead, the wings begin to slow from what you can very clearly see are not necessarily the kinds of deep strikes that would normally be from the trouble that it is. And to get to that brace for trouble, as Bahamut, I'm going to say I strike preemptively to drive the trouble off. And I don't know that anybody up here necessarily sees this, but what the audience might see is small darts start shooting out from some of the blood drains that are in the side walls of the arena here. And these are small, distilled nuggets of renewal that will stick into the hide, or frozen slivers of renewal will stick into the hide of this T-Rex wasp and begin to introduce a kind of lethargy. And I think it almost probably starts getting smaller on top of everything else as Regis ferociously attacks the superiority with a sword.
This process takes a while. And over the course of the battle, Regis is pitted against this thing one-on-one before finally taking both quite exhausted. Regis literally trying to fight a bear with a saber. Before finally, one slow, ambling move knocks the sword away, and Regis is taken down to the ground, and does in fact lose the fight. What will victory cost you? The favor of the Archduke. Bahamut, you look over at the Archduke's face, and you are one of the few people in the world that can see the very subtle changes in his visage, and he is supremely disappointed in this outcome. He is not happy. He is not happy that Regis lost. He's not happy that the Chimera won. He is not happy that Regis had to cheat and still didn't win. He is not happy in the fact that the renewal didn't just kill the thing immediately, you can see all of this wash over his face without a single word. He is displeased with both of you.
So what is the victory that I paid for?
Regis didn't die.
I was
Okay.
about to say Regis is still alive and in one piece.
Okay. Fine.
It was a battle to the death.
True. Fair enough.
The crowd is stunned by this outcome, as eventually what ends up happening is some caretakers have to actually like load the now very sleepy bear wasp into a cart and take it off the arena to recover.
Yeah, I will say when it shrinks, it's not just like it gets smaller. It like sheds skin.
Oh.
Ugh. It's like a chitinous insect thing. So you can like see like the inside mass like peel away from the shell. And then
Ugh.
like,
So a
crawls
cleaning
out.
crew comes through the stadium to push it all away to the side.
You ever seen a lizard shed its skin?
But it's a big bear bug.
It's that but crunchy. Yeah.
As opposed to a bugbear.
Correct. Those are different.
Not a bear.
Yeah.
It's not a bear at all.
Bug.
It's a big T-Rex wasp with 4 little T-Rex arms,
Oh my god.
compound eyes, and its T-Rex head.
You have been listening to Game Movement, a creative storytelling collective building a world one game at a time. This week we have been playing The Bitter Litany, a Powered by the Apocalypse game of tragic fantasy intrigue by Luke Jordan, which is still in development as we play it, but keep an eye out for it soon. This week our players are the core cast of myself, Brianna Jean, TT Benjamin, Robbie Rowling, Zach Yolen Green, Emily Anderson, and Lex Olden. If you like what we're doing, feel free to leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app, and you can support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/GameWoven, as well as supporting the network we are a part of, which is the One Shot Podcast Network, where we have just some truly amazing shows that we get to be affiliated with. And if you're looking for something to listen to, go check them out.